Hey, how are you? How you doing? How you doing? It's a beautiful Tuesday night here in Northeast Ohio, about 70 degrees and absolutely perfect weather for early fall. We are in a area well known in the local lore as Helltown. This is stealth camp number 53, and tonight I'm going to attempt to stealth camp at this haunted, what I was told as a kid, it was a Satanist haunted church. So let's get right into that. Spooky season, pumpkin spice. So it definitely looks really spooky for sure. Kind of dilapidated, I suppose, but it's definitely well put together. Back in the day, it's all stone and whatnot. We'll go get an up close look at that in a bit. Growing up just a few minutes from here, my buddies and I, since we were kids, and I'm assuming from legends that go, hello, assuming since, what's that? Yeah, I was just doing some history on the church.
Do you know any history on the church?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Do you know any history on the church?
Not particularly. Sorry, I can't hear you. Do you mind if I come over and talk to you? What, was I bothering you or something? Okay.
The neighbors, so he keeps an eye on it. I keep an eye on it because there's some vandalism and stuff.
Oh, this is private property?
Yeah.
Okay, I always thought the park owned this.
No.
Okay. Yes, and we've been coming here since that's what I was about to tell them, was we used to come here when we were kids, and you know, I'm 34 now, so I don't screw around anymore, but
Yeah, he don't want people getting around him. I mean, that's fine, I think.
okay.
I haven't seen any ghosts or anything though.
Okay, fair enough. I'm assuming they don't want people trespassing or nothing, or yeah, I was just, you know, not bothering nobody. I didn't mean to offend you.
Yeah,
Or...
no.
Okay.
No, you didn't. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll finish what I'm doing, and I'll try and stay off the property, and I'll head on out.
You can stay on my property.
That's cool. If you don't mind, stay out of the street, right? He didn't seem too thrilled that I was walking the property border or nothing. I was just taking photos and stuff like I'm doing, you know, just.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to trespass or be on his property though, obviously. So, take care, brother. Nice meeting you. Okay, well, all right, well, I just got busted immediately by the neighbor across the street, who was very nice. And as we were there talking, the owner of this property, who actually just bought it from an auction, rode right up and asked me politely to leave. So I'm just kind of playing it off because I told him I was here taking photos and then we're gonna get out of here. But here he comes again on his bike, so I'll just tell him thank you and sorry and no bueno. I always thought this was part of the Park Service and whatnot. So I didn't realize I just talked to your neighbor. I wanted to apologize for. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm out of your hair though. I'm just wanted to let you know. So sorry, brother. Yeah, he's not a happy camper. He's going over there on his bike. Well, that is probably my record for the fastest bust of all time. All right, let me regroup, and I feel really embarrassed and stupid right now, but at least it wasn't like a bad bust. Oh, okay. Busted again. And it's a good thing too, because he pointed out he's got motion sensor cameras all over this place. So I told him I was taking photos, and so I'm gonna walk the perimeter real quick, and I'll sucks. I drove almost 40 minutes to get here. I'm pretty salty. I drove 40 minutes to get here, and there's immediate busting action. So again, I hadn't really trespassed per se, but the neighbor came out and asked what I was doing, and then the owner came up on his mountain bike. I now notice there are dozens of no trespassing signs. There's one in there on this side, one here, one there, two there with the camera sign. There's a camera there, Cameras on the back on the other side. Like I said, I'm just trying to play it cool and pretend like I'm taking photos and videos. And he's got another camera right there. Pretty disappointed, not gonna lie. Pretty disappointed. Well, I might as well give you a little bit of the history of this area before I bounce out of here. So that sucks. At least he was nice. The neighbor was super nice. The owner was not very nice. Since we were kids, we would come up in this area and all the haunted lore. There's like the Satanist church and whatnot. There is the end of the world, they call it. It's like a road that goes up like at a 70-degree angle, and like when you come down the other side, it's like almost like a cliff. There's all kinds of old lore, like if you're driving through here at night and a car is following you and it doesn't have its headlights on, then it's gonna like pull up and murder you. There's a long-standing rumor about this place that's not true, that it's the area where they shot the horror movie Children of the Corn. That's not true either, but all this old lore. So if you look up Helltown, Ohio, the church itself is prominently featured in all of that lore, which, you know, 99% of it's not true, but there are a lot of rumors of ghosts and hauntings and paranormal activity in this area. It's been featured on TV shows that do that kind of stuff, all that. So I was hoping to do a nice haunted church camp, because this place has been abandoned for years and years and years, and apparently now it's privately owned. And after an hour-and-a-half round trip, by the time I get home, we now know not possible to camp here. That's definitely the fastest I've ever been busted before. I'm pretty upset. I've said it in plenty of my stealth camping videos, ones that were successful, ones that were not, that I don't do any scouting. I like to be as reality-based as possible, and go get them. Keep going. Live strong. Kick some ass. We got one more. Bringing up the rear with pride. They all smiled and waved. Nice people. What I was trying to say is, I've said it before in plenty of my videos, whether they are successful or not, I don't do much scouting in the way of figuring out how or where or what I'm going to do. I know of spots, or I discover spots, or I find spots and be like, that would be a cool place to camp. I pack all the gear I need. I get to the location. I decide what I'm going to do on the fly, and we film what happens. And yeah, I was here for less than 10 minutes and started filming. And now we are not welcome. So
right away here.
My plan was actually to camp right underneath that fire escape and whatnot, and once the guy pointed out that he had cameras everywhere, which he does, I'm looking at one right now, he also put up this 8-foot fence around the entire perimeter and property. So the walk of shame. There's a few that are on the list of ones I couldn't complete or got busted doing that are on the redemption list, and I've conquered a few of those. Well, I tried to conquer the dumpster, that failed. I conquered the scared woods, the crappy woods. I did that last week, but I don't know, this might be the first one that I failed at or got busted that's not on the redemption list, because it's just impossible. And yeah, this dude's got an 8-foot fence, an electric gate, and several cameras around the whole property. It's not doable at all. The neighbor said this guy's restoring this church to almost original form, and he's sunk a lot of money into it already. It was owned by a trust, and the guy that bought it knew the lawyers, was able to get it before it went to auction apparently, or something like that. Either, I'm not sure of the order of operations, but either it went to auction or the guy was able to get it from these group of lawyers in the trust. So luckily the neighbor came out before I just got all up in there and whatnot, and knowing the owner was actually behind the fence on the property and just came out on his bicycle. I don't hop fences, I don't break and enter, I don't do anything other than some trespassing, and if I'm asked to leave, I leave. The neighbor lives right there, and he said the guy that bought this lives right there in that house next to his, so no wonder he was close by. Came out from behind the fence on his bicycle. Pretty much was not very polite or anything at all, and I kind of don't blame him when he says people treat this place like Disneyland, and then wasn't even, you know, I said sorry, I didn't mean to this, that, blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously I was on his property. I always thought that this was owned by the Park Service because we are in the heart of the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and as long as I've been alive, this has all been parkland. And if you ever see this, or if anyone sees this that knows the guy, I picked up, this is my 4th handful of trash that I'm putting in my truck waste receptacles. So Trash Fish Cleveland also, I picked up off your property. So you can be mad at me for taking photos and for trespassing, but I also did you a favor. So Northwest Wind style is to pick up trash. If you litter, you. This fence is all the way up along the hill and all the way up against that corner. Not to mention the at least 8 private property signs, cameras all over the place and whatnot. So, and again, he literally lives right there. So, and the neighbor was obviously keeping an eye. So I wanted to do a haunted place stealth camp, and I guess chips didn't fall my way. Nothing I can really do about that. I guess I'm glad I found out the easy way instead of the hard way, because I don't think that guy's somebody that would mess around with calling the police and whatnot. Also, he was carrying, so not that he would harm me by any means, but you don't mess with people's private property and whatnot. If Walmart wants to get mad at me, you know, fine with Walmart, but just like the corn maze, the reason why I bailed out on the corn maze is because that was somebody's backyard. I've had this chicken and dumplings Mountain House for like probably close to 2 years now. Everybody, including, this is for you, Daniel, at Hammock Mountain. Everybody, including Daniel, has asked me why I've never tried this flavor, and most people say it's their favorite, so I'm not gonna get to eat this tonight. This is the weakest way to get caught and busted. I'm almost mad that it didn't end up, at least like a screaming match or something would have been more epic than just the neighbor and then the owner and then I'm out. But that's what happens. I show up, I try to camp, I do my thing, and I'm ready to go. I've got everything I need right here in the truck. Mountain House, Jetboil, sleeping pad, sleeping bag, my little chair that I love so much now. Everything's ready to go. We're literally 10 feet away. There's a parking lot right there where I was gonna leave my truck. All I had to do was drop off my gear, film my intro, park my truck, and then we were gonna be sleeping at the Satanist Helltown Church. And of course, no, we're not. It's not even an epic fail, but it's like an epic fail. It's like an epic, it's not an epic fail. It's an epic fail. Like the epic fail itself is epic, but it's also not epic at all. Like, I don't blame the guy though. I mean, people do treat this like Disneyland, especially like this time of year, the leaf peepers and the spooky hocus pocus people. But then I guess like not in a dick way to him. You knew that he's lived here all his life. He knew this was a hot spot when he bought it. So you kind of knew what you were getting into. Like, you can't just put a 50-foot high fence around the whole thing. So how do you kind of keep people out? I guess you gotta, I don't know, especially like once he's living there, people here at 2 a.m., there's some broken windows. He says he's had to deal with some graffiti and stuff and littering. And I mean, I picked up some of that. So I don't know. I'm ranting now because I'm kind of upset. So, I mean, I literally have all my camping gear and a Mountain House ready to be consumed. And now I'm hungry and I'm gonna go home. As they would say, no bueno. Stealth Camp 53 is a epic fail, whatever you want to call it. Let me know in the comments that I'm, you know, that guy. I got nothing else to say. I tried to drag this out and talk as much as possible so you guys still have a long video. So basically I showed up here, was told that I'm not allowed to be there, so we're not camping, and then I talked to you for like 18 minutes. So perfect video, entertainment, yeah. Stealth Camp 53, failure, busted. And we'll see what happens next week, because that's what happens here on the Northwest Wind. You never know what you're gonna get. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that. Spooky season. Much love to all of you, and we will see you on the next one.